we've all been asking for a long time.
Are we there yet?
No.
Are we there yet?
No.
It feels like it's been in the making forever. Some of us began to think Google,
You're faking the phone. You're faking the phone.
but it's here. It's really, really a thing. And after all of that anticipation, we needed the folks in Mountain View to come correct to
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
finally, this is it, the Pixel Watch.
Yeah!
The ecosystem is complete. We have home products, Chromebooks, a unifying SMS standard, Pixel phones, a compelling Pixel tablet on the horizon, and this alluring piece of glass and stainless steel. But is all that glitters polished silver? It is a first-gen product after all. My review of the Pixel Watch 2022 after the intro.
Yeah!
This is the Pixel Watch, the polished silver stainless steel model. It features a domed glass face with bezels that garnered a lot of attention pre-launch, but Wear OS design language on this really keeps you from feeling that. It is beautiful, fetching. Like I've said before, I never stopped wearing watches when people moved to time checking by cell phone. I'm a die-hard wristwatch guy, and a round chronograph is my jam. Now, I'm not a huge dude, but I do love huge watches. This is a 41mm body that I'd love to see available in 48, but there are pros to its side. Sleep tracking with the Pixel Watch has been a joy. Like, it's not even there. Its felt size is diminutive in a way that has a positive impact on the overall wearing experience. Then there's that glass. This vibrant custom 3D Gorilla Glass AMOLED display peaks out at 1000 nits brightness and is stunning. And Google has taken advantage of its glory by providing some animated watch faces, which, quite frankly, are hypnotic. Specifically this one, the one I've been using. Their concentric watch face had me entranced after I spent some time going through and playing with all of the native watch faces. Being a Wear OS watch, you can of course load up others, but with this one, I haven't wanted to. Just like the others, you can customize this one by tap and hold and clicking on the pin icon. From there, you can change the colors and the complications. And while I'm generally a lover of info-dense faces, this one allows for only 3. On busy days, I can switch to the utility watch face, which gives you 4 complications, with the bottom one capable of displaying calendar entries. Along the side of the watch body, you get a rotating crown which allows you to navigate through menus, get directly to the apps drawer, access GPay, and is used to go home. Right next to that crown is a side button which brings up recent apps or GPay as well. I wear my watch with the crown facing my body, so the side button is easily accessible for me and feels natural to activate. Below this black dome face is a polished silver stainless steel body, which is waterproof rated to 5 atmospheres with a dust and water ingress IP68 rating. Remember that atmospheres and water ingress ratings are different. One measures the ability to withstand pressure, while the other, the ingress of streams of water. Another way to say it, one measures how deep you can dive 5 atmospheres or 50 meters, while the other answers the question, can I shower with this thing on? Although that IP rating also deals with submersion. I, however, would not shower with any watch on because over time, the mixture of hot shower water and soaps or shampoos will weaken the gaskets, decreasing the water resistance. Besides, you're going to need that shower time to recharge this watch if you're wearing it to bed. More on that later. When you're looking at the body of this watch, you'll notice a couple things. The sensors and the lugs, or lack thereof. The Pixel Watch comes with a bevy of sensors: blood oxygen, a multi-purpose electrical sensor which handles ECG for AFib detection, an optical heart rate sensor, altimeter, and others. Where the lugs would be, Google has gone with a proprietary mechanism which allows for quick changing of bands. People have griped about this. I love it, personally. I change bands daily multiple times. I sleep in one band, I work out in another, and then there's whatever band I'm wearing for the day. Unfortunately, I only have this one band right now because this is one of the things I'd like to see solved. Google you launch this and the other bands haven't been available immediately at launch when people are most excited. I'd love to see that happen at launch, but you can find the other bands. I think order times are showing November now, early November to get those bands. But I have the one that came with the watch, silicone, which I don't generally like. I like the cotton or the some of the other fabric bands. Well, the mechanism for these bands, getting back to that, is a button which you press, then slide the band off. Slide the band back the opposite way, and it's back on. So, we've talked about the hardware, but what has it been like to use the Pixel Watch? First, the interface is fast and buttery smooth. Apps launch quickly. Swiping through screens is responsive. Google Assistant, Google Maps work like a charm. The controls are intuitive. And though I know some folks have experienced connectivity issues, I haven't had any at all. But this is a first generation product, and anytime we have that scenario, there are going to be some pluses and some caveats. And with the Pixel Watch being a product that people have been anticipating for years, it's been judged pretty harshly by some. I think it has far more pros than cons, but at the end of the day, you're gonna be the one living with this, and just like any cohabitation, it isn't about what you're willing to put up with, but what you aren't, what the deal breaker or breakers are. For me, this watch didn't really have any deal breakers, but let's deal with the one which may be a deal breaker for you up front: battery life. This watch's heart rate monitor was dead on accurate to my chest strap monitor when I went out for my noon power walks. I use the Polar H10 chest strap for comparison when I test wrist-worn heart rate monitors, and the Pixel Watch has been the only watch that I've had my hands on in some time that has been dead on with it. Not plus or minus 2 beats, lock and step. And that's in part due to the fact that the HRM polls your heart rate once per second, all day. And that is taxing on the battery when you add in GPS and always on display and that 4G LTE connection. Battery life does get better with use though. Initially, it lasted roughly 12 to 15 hours, depending on whether I used it to work out or stream music while I worked out. At that 12 to 15 hour mark, I was looking at 5 to 10% left. Not enough to make it through a night of sleep. Now, around 12 hours of use puts me between 30 to 40% battery left, and I have an optimization I haven't tried yet, which should get me even better battery life. Go into the Pixel Watch app, notifications, mute notifications, and toggle on the option to don't ring vibrate notifications on your watch while using phone. You're welcome. The upside is that this watch charges faster than some of its competition. Roughly 30 minutes plugged up to my PD charger, and I was around 60%, which in a pinch is more than enough to get you through a night of sleep tracking. At an hour of charging, I was at roughly 90%. The watch comes with a magnetic charging puck. It gets the job done, not particularly artsy or beautiful, just this white plain puck. And you know what else gets the job done? The 32 gigabytes of storage. For your gym use, that is going to be plenty of space to hold music locally on device or podcasts, whatever keeps you locked in and getting after it in the gym, so you don't need your phone with you. Or outside the gym. And you can stream music as well. Speaking of outdoors and gyms, look, GPS generally does a solid job of routing you in open spaces on hikes in the wild, but what about in densely populated urban areas full of tall buildings which can hinder GPS reception? Here's a map of a photo walk I took to test out the Pixel Watch's GPS. I did this at the same time I was testing the Apple Watch Ultra, and in some parts, it's harder to tell which was more accurate because of how the Fitbit app renders their mapping. It appears that the Pixel Watch is a bit less accurate as you get down to more precise locating, down to feet, because the lines are more jagged, more wild, a little bit more all over the place. But it was still basically on top of where the Apple Watch Ultra was. And even in the beginning of my walk, when I went underground at Union Station, entering the station from the east end, the Apple Watch hashed that section of the route. The Pixel Watch appeared to stay connected, even though I was in a tunnel. Now, I can't say whether or not it was connected for certain because I was walking in a straight line, and maybe it just accounted for that and presented what it thought the route I took was. I did glance at both watches as I walked through the tunnel, and I didn't see them searching, or I didn't see the searching for a signal prompt on either. There was also a second section of my photo walk where the Ultra hashed out and the Pixel Watch accurately recorded the route. This was when I was in an area of densely populated tall buildings. So, thumbs up on the solid GPS connectivity here. But let's tackle another area of connection. How well connected the watch is to your phone. When you use the Pixel Watch, you have the Pixel Watch app, the Fitbit app, and the digital and well-being menu in the phone settings. I'll explain that in a moment. The Pixel Watch app is where you're going to handle watch settings, faces, GPay, basically everything about the watch that is Wear OS 3.5, all of its core settings. But all of the fitness functionality is going to happen in the Fitbit app, which is, in my opinion, one of the best fitness platforms available on a smartwatch. It is arguably the best social fitness app due to the size of the installed user base as a result of the low barrier to entry when it comes to purchasing a Fitbit product. I could do an entire video review on just the Fitbit component of this itself, and I actually have in the past. I prefer it over Google Fit and Samsung Health, so I'd definitely give it a try if I were you. It does have some premium features that you'll get access to for the first 6 months of ownership, but you can do just fine without access to that because Fitbit's basic health data and metrics are solid, and there are other options for some deep premium sleep insights and readiness score premium data insights since this is a Wear OS device. Apps like Sleep as Android. And for those of you gym rats who don't have a specific Fitbit exercise in the exercise menu, which will help you log that particular training session, again, Wear OS means you can use an app like Gym Run to journal those hard-won gains. Gym Run runs on both the Pixel Watch and on your phone, so you can enter all your data on the phone where it's easier and then actually track, log your workouts directly from the watch once you start a workout. And if you want to tie in how your sleep is affected by your snoring or coughing at night, you'll have to go to the digital well-being and parental controls menu in the phone settings. You can activate the cough and snoring function if you're on a Pixel 7 series device. Eventually, Google should tie this into the Fitbit health data points, but for now, you're going to have to go here. And while some folks find this a bit fragmented, this is pretty much the state of Android and even iOS fitness and smartwatch apps. Apple has their activity app, then the health app, then the Apple Watch utility apps. You need all three to get the most out of the fitness and overall health experience. Samsung has their Gear utility app and Samsung Health and a separate ECG app. And that doesn't mean these are optimal experiences. I'm not trying to excuse them, but that Pixel is not unique in this multi-app user experience. I'd like to see them all consolidate their experiences more, but I actually understand why they do it this way, and I can't say that I have a problem with it to a degree. What I do have a problem with and would like to see resolved in a future software update is the bedtime mode and do not disturb modes. Setting either on the watch does not activate the same on the phone and vice versa. It took Samsung years to really get the watch to phone deep connections down, and I'm hoping Google is on a shorter timeline to make that happen. And you know what? I think it's time to put this review into bedtime mode. The Pixel Watch, much anticipated, delivered on the back of a smart acquisition in Fitbit, making it an Android watch with one of the best fitness platforms on any mobile OS. 3 finishes, 1 size, and sublime aesthetics that look dashing under the cuff-linked shirt of a smart suit and equally at home in the gym. And at $350 for the standard model, $400 US for 4G LTE connectivity, it presents a compellingly priced option in the smart watch space. I think any shortcomings can be fixed in future software updates, but I never bank on that, so you got to be happy with what you're getting out of the box right now. And I think what you're getting is pretty solid. So this is definitely worth seriously considering the Pixel Watch in 2022. I'm Tshaka Armstrong for Android Central. If you have any questions about anything related to the Pixel Watch, anything I talked about in this review, or maybe didn't cover in the review. Go ahead and leave those in the comments section below. I'll get to them. I love chatting with you all. I will catch you on the next video.